Well, I thought it was a very good win for us. The guys stuck with the game plan throughout the game. We think we did a really good job facing off, and our wings, between our face-off guys and our wings coming up with those ground balls, gave us a lot of possessions at the offensive end of the field, and we wanted to make their offense watch as much as we could. And they did, and then when they did get a couple opportunities, I thought our defense got some good stops. I thought Nick Mellon did a tremendous job on Teat tonight, and then when they did find some opportunities, Drake was big for us once again. So a good game plan. I think we can get better. I think that the game plan was good. It worked, and when it worked, it's always good. But we need to make some better decisions. We had some turnovers and some different, some decisions where I thought we could have had better possessions, but we're starting to get there.
Steven, what's the kind of first 2 months and like the beginning of the season, I guess, for you been like leading up to the last couple games where you've kind of started to come out and been a little bit more like we saw last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got off to a bit of a slow start, but all the other guys stepped up at the start of the season and stuff like that, and we saw some new guys scoring, and then now just playing loose, continuing to work hard, working on our offense in practice, so feeling good now.
Are you feeling like more 100% healthy than you were earlier this year?
Yeah, definitely.
This team, Cornell, averaging 16 goals per game. You hold them to 8. What were you guys doing right on defense today?
I thought we had a game plan coming in, and a big part of that was to have everyone on the same page, and from our O middies to our D middies to our LSMs to our close D and to Drake here, I thought we were all, in sync and on that same page, like I said. So, Drake made a bunch of big stops for us. We had some good turnovers. Our sticks were in lanes the whole game, and we were just communicating from the first quarter to the last. So, credit to the defense as a whole.
Did you sense they were getting frustrated because there was a lot of missed passes and things like that?
Yeah, I just think that they couldn't really find any gaps or openings. I thought we were just suffocating them the whole game, and like I said, it's kind of credited to those things I just talked about.
Also for Nick, what was it like scouting Teat, and what were maybe if there's one or two things you thought that you did tonight that turned out to be effective against him?
Scouting him, it's tough because he's so versatile and he can do so much. But I've had the chance to go against him twice last year, and not today. So a couple things that I was planning on doing was just kind of staying in his gloves the whole game, taking away what he's good at. I know he's a lefty, and he's going to go left more times than not. So you got to shade that side whenever he's about to dodge. And we knew that they were going to set picks for him all night, which they did. And the communication kind of helped out with that problem.
Drake, I guess since getting benched in that second half against Notre Dame, you've made 26 saves across 2 games, allowed 13 goals. I guess what went wrong for you in that game, and what in the sort of 3 days since Hope now sort of has changed to sort of let you get right back to where you were before that?
That's not really something that I think about. After that game, I didn't just sit there and go, I'm so down on myself, I suck today. I just moved on and tried to it's not like I ever doubted myself. I know what I'm capable of. I also know what my defense is capable of in front of me, and they've been playing phenomenal the past 2 games. All credit to them. I'm getting a lot of easy stops, I guess, padding the stats a little bit, but thank you.
I guess what goes into the easy stops is that facing shots from direct on, and the defense sort of forcing them into an area where it's easier to save, or what goes into that?
It's angles. If I can get a guy on sort of a short angle, it gives them less to shoot at, less area for me to have to move. It's also, if we're on the hands, the shot might not be going as fast, so they might be uncomfortable getting it off, and then it's a slower shot, easier save for me. I would say it's both of those things, just angles and then being on the guy's hands, really being in their face.
Nick, I know this is just another win in the win column, but you'll have a little bit more emphasis, so to say, playing your CNY rival.
Yeah, definitely. Cornell got 2 wins on us last year, so coming in here and winning pretty convincingly, it definitely leaves a good feeling in your stomach.
Drake, I guess how much did the limited opportunities in the first half kind of help you settle a little bit more in the second, where you were able to make some big saves there?
The first half, I was more just so happy with how the defense was playing in front of me. Not only the slides, but the rotations. And the shots I was getting were able to get me so comfortable and confident because they were so easy, and it's not like there were a lot of them either. So I was able to really get comfortable in that game, and all the credit goes to them for that.
I guess can you speak on the rotations a little bit? It feels like the short sticks were really, getting involved.
Yeah, we were definitely all in sync. I thought, the week leading up to this game, I thought we were doing well in practice on the rotations too. But it's like Drake said, the first slides are good. They're usually always good, but it's that second and third rotation that he's talking about that we work on, and I thought we did well today with that.
John, was this the most holistic win you guys have had this year, you think, as far as like how good your opponent was, offense playing well, defense playing well, you jumped on them early, which you guys haven't always been able to do? It seems like everything kind of came together in some ways.
I thought we were more consistent, throughout the game, and I thought the guys listened to the game plan, and the defense was pretty stingy. And for years, Syracuse has been played like we played against Cornell, where like teams want to hold the ball, before the shot clock. And now when you get the ball to your offensive end of the field, you tend to want to force things because you're in a hurry. And so we've been on the shoe's been on the other foot, so to speak. And so we've followed the game plan pretty good. I think we've gotten better. The turnovers is shown at 11. A couple of weeks ago they were close to 20. So that's getting better. We still can make better decisions on the field. But like I said, we're starting to get there. So yes, to answer your question.
Also for John, kind of a question about the defensive game plan. What were you emphasizing leading up to this game? Was it more stuff you're fixing from this year, or stuff that maybe you took from those two games against Cornell last year?
Every team is different. Other team is different. So a lot of times you have a different game plan for their offense. And I think this one was, partially was our offense being patient, winning faceoffs to keep it at our end, which helped the defense. But I thought the matchups were pretty good, and they got a couple unsettled goals on us. But I think the defense had a pretty good plan, and again, for Drake to be making those saves helps the defense. And we had a couple different plans ready. We could have teed off if he really got going. And fortunately, we didn't have to do a lot of that with Nick doing a pretty good job on him when he did have the ball.
Specific you saw from Nick, just within that individual success?
Well, Teet's a great player, and Nick's been getting the best attackman on other teams throughout. So he's got some good experience under his belt. I think he's played him pretty well in the past, and I think we limited his opportunities in their offensive opportunities tonight, which was part of it.
This one's for both Coach and Steven. This offense has kind of consistently shown there's a lot of depth across the board. There's not one guy who comes out. That was certainly true in this game, where I think it was 7 goals scored in the first 8 goals. What do you think it is about this group in particular, where the offense feels very spread out and there's a lot of different guys who can get the job done?
Well, we're young and old. We've got some experience at the attack end of the field, and we're a little younger in the midfield, and we purposely played some of the younger guys last year to get them game experience, and I think you're seeing that game experience from a year ago, and this season they're becoming a little more seasoned, a little more comfortable in game situations. We've always, this team's got some depth there, especially in the midfield. There's a few other guys that we'd like to get in the game more than we do, but it's hard to put cold guys in a hot game. So I think we've been pretty spread out, and we try to be like that.
Yeah, I think if you even look just at our midfield, that first midfield line, it's each team has to ask who are they going to pull, and then whoever they short stick, those guys, they can deal with the short stick easily, so they can get the defense rotating. So it makes it easier on all of us, and it's nice if you're having a down game or something, people are going to step up all over, and we have so much depth. We've got some great lines, so it's good.
And you're the only one up there with the jersey still on, so what did you guys think of these jersey combos? It seemed like the fans really thought the helmets were pretty sharp.
Yeah, I think we all love them. We thought we were going to wear them a couple weeks ago. We've kept asking our equipment manager when the game was going to be, but we all love them.
Coach, 7-3, and it seems like the ACC tournament and hopefully NCAA is right around the corner. Are you pleased with how the guys are playing right now?
Yes, like I said, I think that we've been getting better, and there's still things we can improve on, but we've been getting better, and we want to keep going that direction.
Coach, Was that patient style on offense a game plan special for Cornell, or will you guys be playing a little bit more patient?
Well, it's a good question. I think we spoke earlier that some of the slow starts have been the number of turnovers. You know, we talked about the Notre Dame game and having 14 turnovers in the first half, and we had 11 tonight altogether. So that some of it is just to get let all the guys touch the ball, attack in midfield. We're trying to put the ball more through the attack, at least to start the offense. And I think if everybody's getting comfortable to get more touches, there are going to be less turnovers. So partially for that reason too.
Coach, you touched on this, but Knicks kept Teat off the score sheet before. The big difference between this game and the tournament game last year was more of Clark Peterson. Can you talk about what the defense did tonight on him?
Well, Peterson gets a lot of his goals from assists from Teat. So when you can take away the, Teat and you take away him, Piatelli's a much improved player from a year ago. He might, to me, if I had to vote for somebody most improved on their team, it would be him. He's getting more involved. He's getting more balance. He's getting some dodges. He's feeding some people, finding people open. So I think partially the Teat thing, I think our close defensemen knew them pretty well. We didn't want those guys finishing. The one loose ball they came up with and finished, that was for our defensemen to leave those guys down low. Drake was, I think, screaming for them to get in the hole. So I think that, it happened once or twice, but we eliminated those mistakes later.
John, with the whole goalie swap at Notre Dame, and then you went right back to Drake against Hobart, what were you looking for? And then obviously, I'm sure you've been pleased with what you've seen in the 2 games since. I guess takeaways on putting right back in, and then what you've seen since from.
Well, the Notre Dame game, they had 11 goals at halftime, and I wouldn't blame many of them on Drake. It was the way the game was going. Again, 14 turnovers, give him 14 more times to score. And I told Drake at halftime, we just tried something different, a different goalie with a little different style. And I've said all along that I think that we have a number of very good goalies. Drake's, leading that list, but the others, sometimes you have a goalie here and a goalie here. Our goalies are like this, just a half step behind, the starter. And some days they're better in practice, so I don't hesitate to put these other guys in. But Drake's, he's been very consistent.